Hello and welcome to Ghoul Pool. My name is William Deza, and this is
Hi, I'm Rick Henley.
my first time doing the intro. Episode 3, we are here, baby. And for episode 3, we were talking about 3 movies.
3 whole movie.
Totally on purpose. That's why we did it. That's why it was 3 movies, because it's episode 3. And we talked about that before, and I'm not just realizing that right now.
There we go. Working on our feet.
We're very calculated. Everything is according to plan here. Again, set in stone. No room for feedback. Don't give it to us. We don't want it. Very angry when we get it.
Always a little pissed.
So, would you like to say out loud what our movies are?
Oh, fuck. Yep. We are doing The Date from Hell. 2 very different films, 2 very different filmmakers, but, there's a little bit of common ground in there. We are covering Eli Roth's The Ice Cream Man and Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, directed and written by Jane Schronenbrun.
I think it's Show and Brun.
Schronenbrun. I'm very sorry.
I watched the first 5 seconds of her Criterion Closet video, so I could know how she says her name, or they say their name. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm gonna go with they them for now. I'm gonna play it safe. Also, the original Ice Cream Man, though.
And the original Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard.
Directed by Paul Norman, 1995. Rick, why are we talking about these movies?
We decided on this weeks ago what was hilarious, I have to say, about this journey into reviewing this film is that it started from a place of Eli Roth, Cabin Fever, Hostel, Thanksgiving.
Ooh, good.
He's established. And then
my favorite filmmaker.
As the week went on, it just progressively got worse and worse and worse from reviewers, from things that came out about his political stance.
The situation became more and more dire as the days went on, and we realized more and more that this was going to be a problem for us.
Yeah, but also, a problem is just an opportunity you haven't met yet.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Okay, should we get the original movie out of the way first? Just
sure.
Sure. I don't have a lot on this, honestly. I mean, there was for the most part, I thought it was, it's cheap, dude.
Yeah.
It's a cheap, low budget. I think maybe straight to TV.
Absolutely.
It's a TV movie, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. IMDb has it classified as a video. It's not listed as a film, so I'm guessing that's it. Kind of reminded me of a cheaper version of the It miniseries in terms of the sort of even kind of tonally, honestly, with how they play the Ice Cream Man, but also in terms of scale and the level of cinematic portrayal that it has.
Yeah, my relationship to the original Ice Cream Man is that I first heard about it in 3rd or 4th grade, and it scared me. The premise. Some kid had seen it.
That's the same with it as well, right? Yeah. Where you hear about it in the playground, and then you watch it, and you're like, what the fuck?
If you're a little kid, that is a scary premise. It's an Ice Cream Man that kills children,
Sure. It's not ideal.
No.
No one's looking for that.
But yeah, in execution, it's pretty, I don't know. I mean, it has its charm. It has a cult following. Yeah. Clint Howard is great. I like it. I like his performance in it. I thought it's pretty cartoony and weird, but Clint Howard's a veteran character actor. He has been in the industry for decades, and you have to throw a little bit of respect to that.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar, but he definitely makes an impression in this. It's so comparable to It. I didn't even think about that really until now. Same kind of thing with Tim Curry in that movie, right?
Oh, yeah.
Charismatic, over-the-top performance. He knows what movie he's in.
Yeah.
And it's respectable. He's committed. He really is. He's performing. And that's one of my positives here. Overall, my impression of this movie was I was mostly pretty bored and kind of wondering, I didn't really heard of this movie before you told me. I didn't know that. We'll talk about whether or not the new Ice Cream Man is a remake or not. We'll get to that. Don't worry. Well, we'll see. We'll get to that. But the original one, had not heard of this film before you mentioned it to me. And I was kind of wondering, does this have a cult following? Because it does seem like something that would be up Eli Roth's alley, honestly.
Yeah.
He loves trash. And And it wasn't until the last like 20 minutes where I was like, okay, here's the cult following stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the asylum scene. We're going to probably do spoilers for everything. I think, by the way, right? Should we just rip the Band-Aid off? We'll tell you maybe as we get into each movie, if it's a wreck or not, I guess. This is like, I think you kind of know if you're going to like something like this already. It's a low budget, like corny ass, goofy slasher movie, kind of.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of on-screen violence, honestly. There's like body parts, but there's not a lot of like on-screen killing.
Yeah.
And the thing that I did like about this though, and this will kind of lead into Eli Roth and Ice Cream Man, but mostly just Eli Roth as a director, that this movie has some like natural eccentricities that are sort of coming about in an organic way because they cast weird people.
Yeah.
And they perform in an unconventional way, and it's attention grabbing. So that's what I liked about this movie. It felt honest. It didn't feel like it was really pretending to be something that it's not.
Yeah.
And even though I was like pretty bored for most of it, that last 20 minutes was pretty fun, and there were some cool special effects, honestly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a total wash.
I do think it's you're right. It's an honest, straightforward, low budget, kind of like one of those movies you might catch on a random channel when you're a little kid and you're homesick or something like that.
It's like a 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. movie.
Yeah, it's very dreamy and weird, and like I was talking about it with somebody who was in like their 40s, and they were saying like when they were a teenager that was popular with like the older kids. It's just like a midnight weirdo kind of like
this movie specifically, or that type of film,
or
but
both. Yeah,
I was curious if this had any kind of reputation at the time of its release, whatever kind of release
it's got a cult following, mostly because of Clint Howard. Clint Howard is kind of like
that's the win of the movie is his performance. He's very committed to it. So before we really get into this, I did just want to say one thing, that it's an interesting weekend for horror. And I like that in this episode, we're going to kind of run the spectrum of what the genre is capable of and what good and bad. Yeah. But also mainly in terms of approach, in terms of methods of storytelling, levels of violence, how violence is used. We have one extreme and a totally different extreme. And that is part of the reason that I love horror. Yes. And it's such a malleable genre. You can do so much with it. So I just wanted to say that I still love the fact that you can do things in movies. But, man, dude, this was fucking rough for me. Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man is what I'm talking about now. Holy shit, dude.
Well, you know what? I gotta say, man. I might have
fucking how, I swear to God.
Let's see if this will work. Oh, wait, fucking. We did not rehearse this, I swear.
No.
Ah! Oh my God.
Crack fucking shot, by the way.
Yeah, I screwed with Ice Cream Man more than either of you guys, I have to say.
Yeah, Johnny Crappleseed.
Yeah, God, my first note in here is literally at the very top of it. God help me, I liked it. That is the very first thing I wrote when kind of just doing my notes. And I do notice some overlap between the two. I thought you were just like ripping your freaking.
Yeah, I'm already fucking pissed off. Yeah.
I mean, it's got a lot to do. I think the similarities between both films, before we tear into it, I would like to acknowledge the similarities. Both deal with nostalgia. Both deal with childhood. Both are made by people that love the genre of horror, in very different ways.
Absolutely.
And what else? I mean, yeah, they're both very unapologetically like, these are our movies. We don't give a fuck if they don't make sense. Yeah. This is for us. These are essentially both of these filmmakers made their comfort movie.
Very true. Yes. That's true. That's a good way of putting it. And I was going to bring that up in the Camp Miasma discussion, but that's true. That does apply to this movie as well. I wanted to give a little context with where I stand with Eli Roth as a filmmaker, because I watched a bunch of Eli Roth movies in preparation for this review, because
I can't believe you did that.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, like, I didn't have to, dude. Nobody fucking asked me to do that, but I figured, hey, like, I'm committed to this, and down the line, maybe I'll get the opportunity to do this for a filmmaker who doesn't suck. And so, like, if I can get through this, then I can kind of watch anything. And so,
for sure,
because before this, I had only seen The Green Inferno and Borderlands.
Oh boy.
Which, like, Jesus, dude. I mean, The Green Inferno has that one really good scene with the beheading and the de-limbing and the de-eyeing and de-tonguing. That's a great scene. But then the rest of the movie just sucks ass.
Yeah,
and, like,
it does.
Borderlands is like, it's literally not even worth talking about.
Yeah.
But I watched Cabin Fever, Hostel, Hostel 2, and Knock Knock. I wanted to get to Thanksgiving, didn't have time, but I watched those 4 because that rounds out his first 5 films.
Yeah.
Honestly, pleasantly surprised by the first 3. And in terms of that natural eccentricity thing that I brought up with the original Ice Cream Man, that's very present in his original movies, especially Cabin Fever.
Yeah.
He kind of like casts interesting looking people and sort of lets them read dialogue in weird ways that you would never get in a studio film. And so, those 3 movies, I won't talk about them that much, but I was pleasantly surprised. Even Hostel 2, I thought had some interesting story subversions and kind of POV changes that I thought kept it fresh as a sequel to Hostel.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I watched Knock Knock and I was like, oh, this guy's a sex pervert.
Yeah, well, it's a little streak of that.
It's just like, like Knock Knock there's just like some situations in that film that you can tell he spent some time alone considering this idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Not accusing him of anything beyond that. You thought about this.
You also read his autobiography. It gets a little...
Oh, fuck that. No thanks,
I just saw a segment of it. That was did not paint him in a great light.
Jesus Christ. I can't imagine.
Really has some interesting opinions on PAs.
What do you mean? What do you say?
We'll go into it later.
He murdered a PA, probably.
But
Quentin Tarantino buried it for him.
It. Definitely. He was on that island for sure.
Jesus, dude. Yeah, probably. That was so weird. His first few movies, it says presented by Quentin Tarantino. I was like, wow, that's pretty confident.
Yeah. They're clearly boys. They're clearly tight.
Yeah, and that's kind of, that actually is exactly what I feel about Eli Roth. And I mean, this has been said before. This is not an original thought, but I agree with this, that both of them kind of go back to old genres and old tropes and sort of dig through trash and then bring it into their films with the intention of kind of elevating that material with better, more precise filmmaking and, more controlled acting. Except Eli Roth doesn't make things that are elevated from that stuff. He makes stuff that's as bad as those movies.
Yeah, he doubles down, and that's kind of why I love him. I remember he had an interview where he was talking about a birthday party he had when he was maybe like 9 or 10, and he invited all of his close friends over to watch Mother's Day, which is
I've not seen
an rape exploitation revenge film.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, he had a very kind of crazy. You know what? He is.
Why is that such a sprawling genre? There's so many fucking movies like that.
It's the 70s, man.
That's true. Yeah.
But he kind of represents a lot of the like unsupervised weirdo dude in horror that like. I don't know. I kind of feel like that kid sometimes, or I was that kid for like a little bit.
He does feel like an unsupervised child. That's
he does.
He's just fucking around with all this equipment and like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
We'll make a movie. Screw it.
So this movie, like, where it comes in with his filmography, I could not stand this movie. I thought that it was like, I thought the first like 15 minutes. Basically, until the violence starts happening, I was like, I mean, this is not good. The whole like Penny Bell thing, it felt like such a forced version of those eccentricities that existed in his original films, his older films. But once the violence started, I was kind of, okay, like this is mostly practical, it seems like. It's, blood squibs. And then it just keeps going and going and going, and it never fucking ends. And that one scene is the entire movie from that point on. I became completely desensitized to it. And it's ironic that it's called Ice Cream Man. It's about ice cream because there is such a thing as too much of a good thing.
I know.
By the like halfway point of this movie, I was like, oh my God, you got to give me something else here. Like, holy shit, dude.
See, that's the inner fat kid in me. I love the decadence. I love having too much of a bad or good thing. And I love practical effects. I love how squishy everything felt.
Yeah, it did.
And
there's some good squish.
And I don't know. I'm different. I like to be overwhelmed. I like to be overstimulated. That's kind of...
Well, I do too, but like with something behind it, like some intention. And like, honestly, I just like the violence, each individual act of it on its own in a vacuum was fine. And the execution was there for the most part, besides a few things that we'll talk about. But like for the most part, the on-camera violence is not bad. It's kind of it's fine. But like the movie as a whole, it just at a certain point, none of it had any impact to me because it just kept going. Like there's no, I mean, and you could, it's subjective, right? Because there are like, you could say that like the lack of breathing room is the thing that makes it work. And there are totally movies that I love that are like that, where it's just once it starts, there's no stopping, like Mad Max Fury Road or something like that, you know? So that does exist as something that I could enjoy. But with this, it was like the fucking acting, dude. And like, it was bothersome for me because I actually got the sense that the main kids all kind of have unique personalities that they could bring to this movie.
For sure.
And just the lack of direction was driving me fucking crazy, where it was like, point them in the right direction, like tell them what to do, tell them that doesn't look right, like tell them like, hey, that was good, but read it like this instead. There's just nothing. It felt completely unsupervised.
I feel like for child actors, they were serviceable. But now that you mentioned that, I do see that more, where it is like they were better actors than I expected in spite of Eli Roth's sort of like lack of direction. Because I thought they were very serviceable. I don't like to harp on like child actors because that's a hard life.
That's a whole other like subject that maybe it'll come up some other time. But like, I mean, it's, we can debate the ethics of that all day. But I think if they are in the movie, it's fucked up to like be like mad at the kids. And like, I didn't think they were terrible. I was kind of like, they potentially could have brought the best thing of the movie to it, and I felt like they were underutilized.
They were ironically, because this movie is all kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which I think is like one of the more impressive parts about it, to be honest, is like the fact that Eli Roth managed to get this many children together in such a violent movie. That is a novelty in of itself, due to like all kinds of things, ethics, laws, and all that stuff. It is impressive that he managed to get like how many fucking like
it's a lot of kids.
It's like 100. It's like over 100 kids.
I kind of felt like, I mean, maybe I don't doubt that there's the strong possibility that all the kids had a great time making this. Like not trying to shit on their experience or anything. Like if they had fun, that's cool. Like honestly, probably more important in the long run that they had a good experience than that they got great performances out of children. Because in general, I kind of feel like you just probably shouldn't put kids in movies. Like I think there's probably some other solution, but it's like, it's not great. We've seen a lot of not great examples of how that turns out.
Oh yeah.
But my next bullet point here is Eli Roth is a liar hack, because in regard to that Ice Cream Man thing, right? This is a completely different movie than the original. There's kind of few comparisons you can even make in terms of like what the function of the ice cream is, like who the Ice Cream Man killer is, what the characters are like. Very few. It's really just that there's an ice cream truck and there's like violence associated with that. That's pretty much the only consistency. However, there is the Pied Piper element in both these movies to different capacities. In the original movie, it's weird because they keep bringing up the Pied Piper
a lot,
and they keep showing it to you. Like the words are on the screen. Someone will be reading the book. And it doesn't really fit with what that movie actually is.
No.
Like, I mean, besides he kind of like in the original film is what I'm talking about. He kind of starts to turn that one kid maybe evil. I guess that's how the movie ends, is with one of the kids.
How they set up the sequel or whatever. Yeah,
the sequel that never happened.
No.
But besides that, it's not really that appropriate of a allegory. And then this movie, it's pretty much it is kind of that.
Yeah.
And there's a character named Piper in it.
Fuck! I didn't notice that.
Like, ironically, more subtle. Even though it's like it would be okay to be less subtle in this movie, but this is where Eli Roth is a liar hack, because he did this interview, and I've only seen the clip of it, so like maybe there's some context here that I'm missing, but basically what he says, and you've seen the clip too, it's that he had this idea: what if an ice cream man was the Pied Piper, and the music is the thing that gets the kids moving? And I was like, that's already been done. That is, I mean, it's not exactly how it's executed, but that's what the first movie thinks it is, at least. And my whole thing is, there is no fucking world where Eli Roth doesn't know that movie exists at this point. Because even if there's some like insane coincidence that this guy who combs through the archives for trash to put in his movies, and just because he enjoys it, there's no way that he hadn't heard of that movie. And if he hadn't, there's no way someone didn't tell him about it when he was making this movie.
Right.
There's no fucking way. So the fact that he's just like, oh, I had this idea. Like, no, you didn't.
No,
liar.
It's slimy and weird. And I don't know. I think the idea that he came up with this so long ago too and just couldn't get it made, it's like, we can't cast kids. I just feel like that's kind of, I don't know.
I'm like, I feel like the further back in time you go, the easier it is to cast kids, probably, right? I mean, it's probably more difficult to do this movie now, but
it is. It would be, for sure.
Yeah, I just don't buy that at all, and it's full of shit.
What else did I write? I mean, should we talk about the AI?
Yeah,
shit?
Really quick though. I did make actually no. Do the AI first. Yeah, we'll talk about the AI.
Here's what I will say. The two things I heard from so many people, and I even heard people that were like writing off this movie without even having seen it.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Which is bullshit. You shouldn't do that.
If you're gonna have an opinion on it, you should probably see the movie.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Yes, the AI is there, and it's unfortunate. It was way less than I thought it would be. What makes it unfortunate and sad and also just kind of pisses me off is like it was so little of it and it's so needless of it. He could either have taken it out or spend like maybe $100 more just to hire some random animator off of Instagram and just got this stuff done. What it is that there's a cartoon and when it plays, after the kids have eaten their ice cream, they become demonic or whatever zombie people and they start killing their parents. That is such an easy fucking fix, and he has gotten himself in such deep shit from this one weird decision.
It's so unnecessary in the movie, and the information that it conveys, this is the laziest way of conveying it, and it's not essential information that makes or breaks the movie anyway, so you could really cut it out. I mean, besides the one exposition scene, which was like the point where I was like, I might kill myself in this theater.
That was just lazy. That was just like a lazy filmmaking.
That scene was a fucking nightmare to me. It was like nonstop exposition that makes no sense about things that I don't care about, and it's conveyed through AI. Like, oh my god, dude, why am I even here?
And it was narrated by Dutch from Red Dead.
I wanted I don't know what that means.
I wanted to talk about that too. The surprise cameo by Benjamin Byron Davis. He was probably the best actor in the cast, in my opinion.
Might be the only actor in the cast.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, look, I also thought that Sharon Abbott and Dylan Housko,
who's that?
He was the dumb boyfriend. Whatever. I thought.
Oh my god, dude! No, that character fucking sucked.
I thought they were fun, kind of like caricatures. No, what? I should shoot him. Fucking ow! Hold on. I want to get the nip. Oh, right in the titty.
That was a good shot, damn.
Yeah,
I hated that character. Couldn't stand him.
I thought he was supposed to be hateable, but I also thought he was dumb fun. I mean, that's.
But when he dies, they play it like you're supposed to be sad. I was like, what the fuck? Like that was what pissed me off. The whole ending too, where it was like, first of all, you see it coming from a mile away, and then there's this sappy, like sincere like revelation, and like you're supposed to be sad for the characters, and I was like, you can't do that. Like you can't do the whole movie where it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to think about this, I'm not supposed to take it seriously, because it's like, is it the music or the ice cream or their fucking phones that possesses them? Like none of this shit makes any sense. That's fine if you don't expect me to take any of it seriously, but then at the end, it's like, it's such a cop-out way of making fucking horror comedy movies where it's like, you like take this stuff seriously when I want you to, and then the rest of it, don't worry about it. It's like fucking arrive at a conclusion, like commit to something.
That's a very fair criticism. He doesn't commit to anything. I think I just checked out. I was there for the gore. I was there for the novelty of the kids, and I did think the scene with Benjamin Byron Davis. Good God, that's a hell of a name. I thought the point of that was it was supposed to be dumb exposition that didn't mean anything.
It did become that.
That became the joke of the scene.
I did react a little prematurely to that. I did want to kill myself still, though.
That's fair. That's, you know what, we're all here for whatever. But I did. Yeah, I even like leaned over to Brandon and you, and I was just like, yeah, it's their parents in the coffin, whatever. They murder them. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then Eli Rosshead is there, and I was like, okay, that's kind of fucking awful and narcissistic. And
why does he have to put himself in his fucking movies? And like, why does he have to be like the nice guy? He's like the cool dad. But like, fuck you.
Because he can pay himself more money and write it off as a tax thing or something like that.
Wait, that was Eli Roth, the dad?
Yeah, the dad.
I thought that was Zachary Quinto.
Oh, I thought you were joking when you said Zachary Quinto.
You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get shot.
Brandon is a liar hack.
Oh God! I'm so sorry. I got him right in the fucking head. Are you okay?
Oh, we gotta make this a regular thing. All right,
dude. I can't have
two
these,
fucking
man.
crack shots over here. Fuck yeah, dude. They shoot a little harder than I was expecting.
Yeah, man.
Honestly.
Fuck me.
Wait, when did they use?
God, I blame my father that trained me how to kill. That's not. Yeah. And the ending was a ripoff of Zombie 2.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad you fucking brought up the concept of ripoffs because that was what I was going to do. And also, I'll say these are also my recommendations when it comes to, I don't know, association with Ice Cream Man. Fuck this movie, dude. But like, I made like a little list of movies that I noticed it blatantly ripping off.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, like, I would have to fact check this. I didn't, but I wouldn't be surprised if Eli Roth started filming this fucking movie the week that Weapons came out. Like, honestly, just like, we got to get this shit done. Look at this movie.
I will push back a little bit on that because I will say like Weapons was not necessarily about killer children until like the end of like the big climax because that pays it off. I will say he probably just saw that and was like, oh, we should just make a whole movie where just children kill people in all kinds of crazy ways.
This is the nighttime scene where the Ice Cream Man is driving through the suburbs where it's like the kids showing up like in kind of silhouetted in the doorways. I was like, it's fucking Weapons. But then there was a few shots that were just ripped right out of It Follows. There was like when they got to the school, there was this kind of panning shot where there's people like some of the kids are slowly walking towards them. I was like, this is literally just fucking It Follows, and it doesn't even fit with the rest of his style. The whole movie kind of reminded me of like a shittier version of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Like its tone of the violence and the chaos and the fire and the daytime of it was all like very familiar there. And then also there's one scene where this there's like a mom getting killed in the bed and then the dad wakes up next to her and is like, oh honey, what are you doing? Oh, you're getting chopped in half. And like that scene from memory I think is ripped straight out of Terrifier 3. Like you're fucking you stupid liar hack.
You know, I did see the West Coast premiere of Terrifier 3 and I didn't even really consider that. I mean, there was some definitely...
It's definitely time to have ripped that one off. Yeah. I don't know, dude. He just like... It's like all the things that I could say were okay about this movie, like they've all just been done better in so many other movies. And it was just the overall framing and structure that just killed it for me.
That's Eli Roth. He's bargain bin. He's grimy. He's a fucking like little chudlet. I mean, like that's what I kind of...
Yeah, but like his early movies did have something else going on.
That's true.
Especially Hostel. Like Hostel is actually kind of about something.
Oh, it is.
The characters are like objectifying women the whole time, and then at the end of the movie, they find themselves in an extreme situation where they're the ones being like oppressed, basically. You know, and it's like
you got a good point there.
It's deliberate. I was like, it's blunt, but it's about something, and one of the characters has a change because of it. I was like, this is actually kind of a movie. So I know he's capable. I know he can do better. Is the point? It was nice watching some of those early movies because now I can be more mad at him about this one.
You know, I do hope like Eli Roth watches this review and what he takes away from it is that he can be better and he should be better.
He's going to take away that he should beat me with a fucking baseball bat. That's what he's going to take away from it.
Jesus Christ.
That's the best thing he ever did was being the Bear Jew.
He's a good actor. He's not a bad actor.
Not in his movies,
in this he's terrible. In this he's not good. But as an actor, he's serviceable. He's got a good look. You know,
he's
got some charisma.
Looks like Zachary Quinto, I guess.
He does. He could be completely replaced by that.
You know, I can see it now that you say it. Yeah, that's real.
I do have some recs.
Go for it.
If you do like killer children, and I'm not going to recommend Weapons because I feel like
everyone knows Weapons.
Everybody knows Weapons.
But you should watch it if you haven't seen it. It's awesome.
It's a great film. Amy Madigan, God bless her soul. She gave me cigarettes. Anyway,
it's fucking dope. Yeah, smoke that shit.
Cooties. With that dude from Lord of the Rings.
Which one?
The main Hobbit dude.
Is he? Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Yeah, I think he's in that. That's about.
I think you're right.
I didn't realize this, by the way. Like, so the Ice Cream Man is technically a zombie movie, and zombies are my special interest.
Yeah, okay.
Because it pulls a lot from that. So Cooties is a zombie film where it's a zombie virus and it can only infect children, which is fun. Then a little bit older, from the 70s, there's Beware, Children at Play. which is a great killer kid film. Great kill. Has the most insane finale. I'm sorry, I'm getting too close to my mic. Most insane finale of any exploitation.
That sounded smooth once he backed off.
Oh, the most insane finale of any like weirdo killer kid film. Yeah. Basically, all these parents just murder their own children in like horrible, violent ways.
Right on.
And then another zombie children film from the UK, The Children from 2008. That's actually played very straight.
I haven't heard of like any of these fucking movies.
I'm just a reservoir of garbage.
That's great. That's awesome.
I am a deposit.
Someone's got to be.
I know.
Besides Eli Roth, you can't be left alone.
I know. I'm going to be the next Eli Roth. That's going to be my career goal. No, The Children is actually phenomenal. Okay. We should watch it sometime.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Right on.
All right. Ooh.
Okay, so switching it up a little bit, the other movie that we decided to watch was, the movie I pushed to watch was Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. The asthma that belongs to me. My asthma. That's how I remembered how to say it. So Jane, Brandon's holding up his inhaler. I'm appropriating asthma culture right now talking about that. That was horrible of me. I shouldn't have done that.
We're going to cancel you.
I'm getting canceled by the asthmas.
You'll be able to just run up a flight of stairs and they're not going to... What was it? Oh,
yeah, for the asthmas.
But why are you forcing
Brandon's
me to kill?
encouraging violence over here.
Yeah, you're like George Bushing it up over here.
He's like George Bush. He's pro-gun. Yeah. He's telling us about nuclear weapons.
I'm not gonna shoot him just because you tell me. I'm not...
Here, watch this drive.
He's more like Dick Cheney probably, but...
Oh, yeah, I guess it's more like Dick Cheney. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Cool.
Anyway,
Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma, directed by someone who probably does not love George Bush or Dick Cheney.
Be a stretch.
Jane Schoenbrunn, pretty sure.
Schoenbrunn, yeah.
I'm familiar with this director. This was kind of new for you.
It's my first film.
Yeah,
my first film by Jane. And I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get so much crap for trying to pronounce this person's last name, so I'm just gonna call them Jane.
Yeah, I'll just finish it every time you say Jane.
But I shout out to Dutch Clark, family friend, part of the queer cinema community. They love this person, so I will do my diligence and watch the rest of their catalog.
Cool.
Because I did feel like I was unprepared going into this film completely blind.
It's a wild movie.
It is a decadent, like just celebration of queerness in horror films, and there's nothing wrong with that. I did feel like this is not my kind of movie.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
This was my kind of movie. I loved this movie. And I'll talk about why a little bit. But first, Jane Schoenbrunn, I've seen her first two movies. The last one was I Saw the TV Glow. That's the one that probably everyone knows about. But before that, she had a little webcam found footage movie called We're All Going to the World's Fair, I think.
I heard that was very good.
I like it a lot, honestly. It's kind of... It kind of reminded me of Lake Mungo a little bit.
That's a good movie.
The subtle kind of casual nature of it. Lake Mungo is a lot more ambitious and like a way better movie overall. But it was just I would actually be surprised if Jane Schoenbrunn has not seen Lake Mungo
for sure.
But there's like it's the same thing because there's one shot in that movie that was like it's so fucking creepy and just like seared into my memory. But she's always had this interesting approach because all three of her movies, I think, are probably categorized as horror films on IMDb and probably being included. I mean, we're including it in our podcast, right? But it's like they're all really different approaches to it. All three of her movies are pretty different, too. Like, I was not a huge fan of I Saw the TV Glow. And the only reason really is because I think Justice Smith is a bad actor.
Oh, that's a fair.
So it kind of killed a lot of it for me because I was like, I have to go a little side tangent on I Saw the TV Glow. I'll be super quick. But like the reason it pissed me off even more is because in that movie, they watch a fictional show. I think it's called The Pink Opaque.
Yeah, it's very Goosebumps. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the actresses who is playing one of the characters in that show in the movie. Her name is Helena Howard, and she's the star of maybe my favorite movie ever, which is called Madeline's Madeline.
Oh,
nobody knows this movie, and I need to know that movie. It's not going to be anybody else's favorite movie. It's just like if someone asks me what my favorite movie is, it's like, you can watch it if you want, but it's not going to be your favorite movie.
I'm going to watch it.
It's a real movie.
It's not a real movie, yeah. But she's fucking fantastic in that movie, and I was like, why didn't you just cast her as the lead actress? Like, that would have been just whatever. So there was like great actors around Justice Smith, and I was like, you got to sell the movie, I know, whatever. But like, this was definitely an improvement for me. And that movie was kind of about like the fear of never really coming to terms with who you are and never really getting the opportunity to come out as who you really are. And this movie was kind of the opposite of that, where it's someone discovering who they really are. And so that was cool to like, it's really cool that she honestly has not done the same thing twice at all, but there's style there for sure. This is not a vanilla movie, like, no, not in any way.
No. I have a story about how not vanilla it was. Where I was sitting, this Asian family, led by a grandma, two very, very young children, walked into the theater with their parents following behind them, and they were like walking up, and she was like looking around like she had no idea where she was. And then from one of the kids was like, Grandma, this is the wrong movie theater. You're going the wrong way. Grandma, you're going the wrong way. And this
Grandma,
is like,
please.
This is during a very explicit lesbian scene. Very, very intimate sexual content going on.
Specifically intimate.
And Grandma was just like, whoa. Oh, no, and they like kind of slowly got around, and other than that, the audience smelled like weed, so that
makes sense. Yeah. My audience was really funny because you could, like, if you stood with your back to the theater and looked up at everyone, you could tell exactly who knew what kind of movie they were getting into and who did not know what they were about to see, because it was like a mix of like very obviously like queer couples, and then like one dude wearing like a basketball jersey with a backwards hat, and I was sitting right in front of that guy, which was cool because then I got to see like what the I'm not gonna say there's like wrong ways of interpreting a movie, but this guy had the wrong way of interpreting this movie. He was laughing at all the wrong stuff, and like then at the very end, as soon as it hit the credits, he was like, that was fucking trash. And then me and all the queer people clapped. So I was an ally.
Yeah.
In my theater.
It's not trash. I'm not going to hark on it for that. I just found it to be, this is Jane's sort of fantasy of, she has this self-insert character that's very grating, and I didn't find to be very interesting, just because she was so fucking annoying. And then it's like a lesbian romance with an older woman. Romance to me, I have a tricky relationship with for many reasons. But to me,
with romance in films, you mean?
Yeah, I just don't find it that interesting for the most part.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it's hard to do. There's the few examples where I legitimately feel it.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely have my movies where I'm like I'm engaged.
Garfield and Emma Stone and Spider-Man 2.
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the fucking crown jewel of romantic comedies. Yeah, Mark Webb's a creative genius, right up there with Eli Roth.
Yeah. I like romance with a little bit of. Which this movie did have. It did have like a darker sort of element to it, but I guess I'm more attracted to like dysfunctional, not as fantastical.
Sure. Yeah.
This did feel like a romance. It's like a gonzo romance novel come to life, which I think is great for a lot of people.
Sure.
It's not exactly my cup of tea. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I just thought, okay. I got bored, especially in the first half of the movie. I definitely was like at one point being like, I'm not that interested in like a lesbian MILF sort of situation.
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't really appeal to me. Not for any kind of weird reason. It's just like as a film that I would sit down to watch, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. They're, are they, will they, won't they? Great. Like, I don't know. Yeah. What else?
Yeah, sure. No, that's fair enough. Like if that's kind of all that it's doing for you, and that's like not working, then that's going to be a problem for sure.
I will also say, outside of the two main actors, Hannah Einbender, God damn.
Okay.
And Gillian Anderson, there was not
I think
any.
It's Jillian. I think it's Jillian.
Oh, Jillian. Excuse me, Jillian. I should put some respect on Miss Scully. Just not a lot of good performances. I was just like, yeah, okay. Look, everybody like played their part, and I get it. These are caricatures and whatnot, but it's like, yeah, outside of these two characters, and Patrick Fischler, who if funny enough, if you are an LA local, Patrick's Roadhouse, his parents own that restaurant, and they named it after him. So I just want to stick that in there.
A new fun fact for William.
But yeah, I just didn't find any of the performances outside of the main two people to be that interesting. I thought Sarah Squirm was wooden as hell, and look, I love Sarah Squirm. I love her.
Who was that? Was that her agent?
Sarah? Is it Squirm? Is it Squirm or Squilch or
Squilch? Probably.
Yeah, the agent. Comedians have this issue where when they go into films, sometimes they're a little bit wooden. I don't think she's done that many films before. Okay. And I just thought the rest of the cast was like, okay, like these are like but that's also the point. That I shouldn't rag on that too much, because I'm like, that's the intention. Other than the two main characters, the rest of the world is basically non-existent.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's basically two characters in this movie. Yeah. And then, yes, there are like caricatures, archetypes, whatever you want to call them outside of that. But for me, it was like, because I agree, like, if I had seen this as like a romance, I think I would have been kind of like, yeah, I'm not sure about this, because that's kind of like, I'll compare it to like Call Me By Your Name, which is a movie that I find ethically very bizarre, and kind of, I'm not sure how I really feel about that movie. I mean, that's like a straight up unethical relationship if it was to exist in real life.
For sure.
This is like just a big age gap. But like, I didn't really see it as like a romance as much as it was like an exploration of intimacy.
Okay.
And so I didn't really see it as like these two characters are going to like be together and in love for the rest of their lives, but they've like made a connection and they've learned something about themselves, which I thought was a very contemporary way to kind of like go about talking about relationships. And you're probably noticing that none of this sounds like a horror movie at all.
Yeah. That's kind of took me by surprise. By the end, I was like, this is a very interesting queer film. Has some horror elements, but I am struggling to call it a horror film because it doesn't take the horror part seriously at all.
However, I will say there are moments, like Lynchian type moments, that I did think were genuinely creepy. And I know that Jane Schoenbrunn is a big Twin Peaks person, and I think specifically the Twin Peaks Return season.
Yeah.
And there are some like, because there's the shot of the creepy face of the fictional serial killer that kind of pops up in her mirror.
It also takes place in the Pacific Northwest too, so that's also
totally. And there's Mr. Patrick Twin Peaks in the movie too. So like
Patrick Twin Peaks.
But those moments I did think were genuinely creepy, and they looked kind of how the visual effects looked in the Return season, where they don't look realistic, but the thing they're conveying is not something that exists. So like, and with this movie, I wanted to talk about the special effects and the POV changes a little bit.
Those were cool.
Because my experience with this movie, just to kind of say it overall, the first like 15 minutes I thought were legitimately brilliant. Like the montage going through establishing what the fictional movie franchise is, and the headlines and stuff. You didn't like that?
No, I didn't.
I thought it was awesome.
I did not. I thought it was a little grating. Do your kneecap.
So I thought that shit was sick. I thought that was great. And what I liked about the introduction of the two characters meeting each other was that it wasn't super overt to me exactly what this dynamic was going to be. Like, I wasn't sure if it was going to be like mainly sexual tension, or if they were going to be creative collaborators, or if they were going to kind of butt heads, or if they were going to be like friends, or if it was going to be like a mother-daughter relationship. And I loved that introduction scene because all of those things were on the table. Like, I didn't know what the fuck this movie was going to do next really at any time. And so the middle, it started to lose/confuse me because it shows footage from like the fictional, horror movie franchise.
Right.
And most of it does not look anything like an 80s or 70s slasher film.
No.
And so I was kind of like the whole time, because that was an issue I had with, I Saw the TV Glow too, like the fictional show just doesn't look like the kind of show that it's trying to be.
Yeah.
And in that movie, it didn't work for me. But here, I realized by the end of the movie what's happening is there are certain shots that do look like a movie from the time period. And then it really breaks from that, and it starts using like CGI, and it's super obvious that it's CGI. Like, it's like not trying to hide it. And I realized what was happening by the end of the movie is, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think most of that is the character's fantasy surrounding the movie, not the literal film. that exists in the context of the universe of this film. Does that make sense? It was more the characters fantasizing about the movies than it was the movie itself.
Right. I think, you put a lot more thought into this than I did, because I was just like, I am giving up on logic. I'm just going to experience this as an experience, which is totally fine. What? Oh, I
Because talking to his mic.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna scooch over here to make sure the mic is right near my face.
Yeah.
No, I just kind of got into it as an experience. I was just like,
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna let this wash over me, and it's just gonna be, because I like movies like that. I like movies that like kind of show me a different perspective. Maybe I don't understand everything, but I'm at least like there for the ride and like appreciative that like this person got to. I think. Yeah, it's going back to my neutral comparisons of both films, which is like she got to make her comfort movie, a movie that she would want to see when she was like a little kid.
Yeah,
and I guess Eli Roth did too. I guess, but that's what I found very charming about it. She made a movie that her inner child could appreciate, and that's incredibly valuable, and I think very cool.
Totally, yeah. That's no, it all feels very sincere. This feels like one of the most like just honest pieces of self-expression that I've seen in a theater in a little while, and it felt really pure in that way. And I mean, like you said with Ice Cream Man, even where this movie does not feel like it gives a fuck if you like it or not. Not you, but like the audience member, because there is no fucking way that Jane Schoenbrunn thinks that general audiences are going to latch onto this. It is not that kind of movie, and that kind of like leads to the meta commentary stuff where it's like, there's a fill-in character, like the main character is like, it is not like, I mean, just knowing a little bit about Jane Schoenbrunn, like I don't think it's a one-to-one comparison. No. There's the position that she's in career-wise is comparable. Because basically she's made like some successful like film festival type movie that got good reviews, but audiences didn't really like it. But that kind of, I think she says that kind of opened some doors for me in the industry.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really interesting because there are a lot of, like the meta commentary stuff itself, there were lines where I was like, that was so obvious, like so overt that it was like, it was almost a little too fourth wall breaking. But for me, by the time we got to the end of the movie, I was like, that's just how this movie is overall. Like, but it was interesting because it feels so contemporary with the things that it's talking about. Like there are a lot of concepts in this movie that I've never seen a movie talk about before, like queer coding in films and like how that comes about and who is putting it in the movie. Like, is it the director, or in this case, it's like the actress coming up with her own like narrative for the character. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But it's interesting because there are other indie horror movie directors or just indie directors who get kind of swallowed up into like the Marvel, like, Star Wars pipeline. But like, but specifically like Curry Barker, who made Obsession earlier this year, he's going to do Texas Chainsaw Massacre like in the near future. And so it was kind of interesting for her to like make a movie. I wouldn't be surprised if she would, after I saw the TV Glow, she got offered like a try at some IP. I don't know what it might have been, but that felt like honest, where she's like, instead, I'm going to make a movie about what I think that experience would be like.
Oh God, she probably got like offered like Sleepaway Camp or something horrible.
Sure, yeah, probably.
It's just something totally insensitive and just like, yeah, God, that would be a great incubus for this movie.
Yeah, and so with the POV changes in this movie though, because like it wasn't making sense to me for a lot of the movie, and I was still enjoying it for the most part, but I had questions, and I was like, there were certain things that were not coming together for me. And so I basically settled into, I'm going to let this kind of wash over me. I'll think about it later. But by the end of the movie, it did naturally kind of come to, like, an interpretation came to me. And I think it's like, there's obviously a blurring of lines between reality and fantasy in the movie. And it gets progressively more extreme as it goes on. And I realized, I think a lot of what you're seeing, like from the fictional Camp Miasma movie in this film, is I think a lot of it's Gillian Anderson's perspective, because it's like she's talking later about like you have to also see it from the killer's perspective,
right?
And which is that's a whole other can of worms. Like it's a trans killer who, in the context of the original movie, the cultural like subtext has aged very poorly. Yeah, and so everyone's kind of turned on the franchise, and they're hiring the Hannah Einbinder's character to like like in a publicity sense, put the franchise back on track.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think Gillian Anderson's perspective is what's shown a lot of the time in those like more extravagant sequences until the end. But because she's talking, there's a scene in the movie, the fictional movie, in this movie where the character who Gillian Anderson played in the original movie, there's a sex scene, and it's kind of like, it's sort of on the, it's like, it's probably not a consensual interaction, is how she's talking about it. But she talks about it like it was her own experience. Like not a scene that she performed in.
That's where it got kind of confusing for me, because I'm like, did they? Yeah, she talks about it in a way that it actually happened to her, but it's like that wouldn't really fly in any kind of like movie set, or at least like a horror,
right?
You know, but it was weird because she was talking about it like it did happen to her, so it did get like a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. And I was thinking I was like, is there gonna be a revelation that something happened on the set, like outside of that scene? But I think really what it is a person who became so attached to their character that they added all this other stuff, because they keep talking about like the look in her eye in the scene, and it's not until later on that you kind of figure out what it is, where it's like the character is not attracted to men, or doesn't want to have sex at all. Like she says something about like losing my virginity was as awful as I thought it was going to be, or something like that.
Right.
And that's not in the movie, the fictional movie, but they talk about it like audiences have picked up on it.
Right.
Because, like have picked up on what the actress that Gillian Anderson is playing put in the fictional Camp Miasma movie with just her performance. And I thought that was fucking sick, and not something that I've seen in a movie before. Just like,
that's fair.
How like, I was like, that's a pretty good explanation for how sometimes people are like, yeah, that movie's super queer coded. And it's like, well, I don't think the director was doing that on purpose, you know, in certain cases. But I'm like, I think there just might have been performers who kind of like played it that way, and then people who are that in real life pick up on it. And I was like, I haven't fucking seen that in a movie before. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I don't know. The meta commentary stuff did work for me because the movie sort of like barrel rolls into being more and more fantastical as it goes on. And I think the whole end sequence there is just them indulging in their fantasy.
Yeah, that's where I also had an issue. It just became so indulgent. And that's part of it. It's supposed to be ridiculous. The mountain of candy. You know,
that's funny. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
The amount of
it's
candy,
like chandelier.
Yeah, candy. Chandelier candy, and I get it. It's supposed to be indulgent. It's supposed to be comforting. That's another thing too. It's a very like, you could fall asleep to this movie.
It's warm. Yeah,
it's warm. Yeah, it's oddly warm.
Was the candy and popcorn supposed to be like a meta? Well, obviously like a meta commentary on like the fucking food industry for film.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I kind of was sort of, I mean, I don't know, it's possible, but I kind of like, well, maybe like the commercialization.
Well,
like,
is it like they have that scene where she's watching the film and like they for a weird reason focus on the popcorn with like the candy she's putting into it?
I remember that moment too. Yeah.
So, and the candy is a reoccurring thing within the film. So it's like,
I took that away as like, you know, eating your feelings or something like that. I thought that was something that maybe the director had gone through in the personal sense of just like dealing with some kind of eating disorder.
See, that's interesting because, and kind of maybe proves why I like this movie so much actually, because like Brandon had one like, you know, kind of way of reading that. You had another. And honestly, for me, in the moment, I only read that as like, damn, this girl really loves like the theater experience. Like she just loves like movies and everything that's tied to that. Like the whole thing, the sound and the senses that you experience, like including the food that you consume. Like for context, she's watching a movie like at home, right? But she's making herself like a bowl of popcorn and putting like candy in it, like she would do if she was in a movie theater.
Right. Yeah.
So I just kind of read it as like a warm, like little character moment, but I think it works as that, but I think either of those things could totally be there too. And that's like what I could say about a lot of stuff in the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I like the painted backgrounds, but they became jarring, and that was just part of like the dream kind of sort of, you just had to kind of like lean into that.
Yeah.
Because it did became like, normally I like movies that challenge me over like just give me a ton of sensory.
Totally. I mean, we talked about Possession last time, so like that's absolutely. We both like that.
But it just felt like all over, like, you know, 1 minute snowing, next minute summer, but it bounces around so much that it's hard to kind of just like follow a little bit. But also I think that's the intention. So
it was kind of, I mean, it was kind of disorienting because it was sort of, especially before you sort of know where the movie's going, where basically Hannah Einbender is like discovering what actually arouses her. And it's weird and it's specific. And the movie does not try to say that it's a bad thing, which I thought was interesting. And honestly, dude, I know a lot of people who would say they had their sexual awakenings from like weird movies that you wouldn't think of. Yeah, like that shit is very real.
I think it's a bad thing.
Nah, Brandon thinks it's a bad thing.
Oh, what a prude.
Yeah, kink shamer.
Ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, Brandon wants you to be ashamed. Yeah, if you had your sexual awakening during like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, then Brandon thinks you're a bad person.
Oh, the gay one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, I thought like the just the whole queer coding thing was interesting, the way that it happened in the movie, and that Hannah Einbinder like discovers what actually works for her. And really like the major change in the movie is that she meets someone who's just like not judgmental about that, and then they enact it, and she like learns something new about herself and is like more comfortable with the concept of intimacy. And I thought that was fucking beautiful, dude. Like it actually actually got to me. Like it fucking like reached me. I was like, I get the feeling here, you know? And it's like, I'm not like, you know, it's not like the exact things that the character's going through apply to my life at all, but the change and the experience really fucking resonated with me.
That's
like,
fair.
I thought it was beautiful. Yeah.
I guess I did have like a little bit of, I don't know, personal bias with it, just because I have been in a similar relationship like that when I was younger, and I was like, you know, like this can be, I don't know, it can be formative, and it can also be kind of like you're playing with fire a little bit. You know?
I like that the movie didn't totally tell you how to feel about really anything in it, honestly. Like, especially with like the relationship and also the indulgence in fantasy. Because as it does go on, you could make the argument that like the music cues are like misleading, and what's actually happening is two people like kind of losing their minds.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I mean, they're in the secluded area, and because when she makes that Zoom call pitch, she sounds pretty fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone reacts that way.
The Zoom thing was really out there. I thought this is a total...
It's so funny, though.
It's so funny, like, but it's also just like, what the fuck, man? But also, that's this whole movie. This whole movie is what the fuck, you know? Which I loved it. I love that element of it. But I also had to like recognize, like, yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah, it clearly got to you more than it got to me.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's one of those things where if I watch it a second time, either it'll all totally come together for me and those parts I had questions about will be answered, or there'll be little things where I'm like, yeah, this doesn't totally fit with like the statement that I felt like it was being made. I can't really argue that it was a perfect movie, but it was true and it was honest and it was unique for fucking sure.
Way more than you can say about Ice Cream Man, which which was entertaining, but it was like ice cream full of empty calories. So
100%. So I have a few recommendations in regard to teenage sex and death at Camp Miasma.
Nice.
I actually just got them because I looked at the Criterion Closet picks that Jane Schoenbrunn did, and I was like, yeah, these are pretty good picks. So like 3 of the ones that I've seen that she picked out were Eraserhead. David Lynch's Eraserhead, the Grand Budapest Hotel, which like honestly in terms of the art, the artifice, you know, and like the matte paintings and everything, that totally there, but without being derivative at all. Like I wasn't thinking, oh, this feels like a Wes Anderson movie. It's just kind of like, I'm like, I see that bleeding in here, totally. And then Autumn Sonata, Ingmar Bergman's Autumn Sonata.
Oh, nice one.
See if I can bring Ingmar Bergman up like once every episode.
Yeah. But those guys.
Oh man, I fucking love that movie, and that's a movie about just like 2 female characters basically in a house the whole time too. And I was like, oh yeah, I can see the influence there for sure. It's that's like not a really like a fantastical movie, but it is some of the best dialogue that I like have ever seen in a movie. Nice. Autumn Sonata is awesome. And then just like Twin Peaks Return season specifically. If you're one of the people who's seen like some of Twin Peaks but didn't get all the way through it, get all the way through it, man. Like at least the original series. I love Twin Peaks so much.
Yeah. If you feel like watching a movie, watch Fire Walk with Me too. Like that's such a good one.
Not until you've seen the original show though. God damn it. I hate when people try to say you should watch Fire Walk with Me first. That would ruin the whole fucking first half of this show. Liars.
Watch
Liars hacks. That's what Eli Roth wants you to do.
For me, I mean, I literally just wrote these down. I pulled it really far up my butt. In terms of like meta horror, which I don't know if I can call this a meta horror film exactly, but like That's just kind of what I'm running with.
Kind of talking about meta horror films.
It's kind of talking
like
about meta
another
horror
layer.
films. Yeah, it's another. It's like a 4D meta thing kind of going on. Anyway, Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which is like a found footage horror film from the perspective of an aspiring like slasher villain.
Okay.
It's like a guy. It's like,
ooh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's great. It's from the 2000s. It's very funny and sharp and gets to be pretty scary towards the end.
Sweet.
And in terms of queer horror, Titani, the French one. And we're going back to those goddamn frogs.
Titan?
Titan.
Fuck, I love that movie.
It's so good.
Dude, that
it's
movie's
so good.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, talk about like just jumping between horrible violence and weird tenderness all of a sudden. Like that movie is fucking crazy.
I felt that I wanted to touch on the violence in this because it felt so goofy.
It was.
It felt ridiculous. It felt like it didn't take itself serious at all.
I mean, it's a blood geyser.
The part where the guy gets the pole shoved up his ass.
Yeah, that's just yeah. And he just explodes like a video game character. I mean, like, yeah, it felt very like early Mortal Kombat. And I didn't know how to feel about it. I felt like it was so ridiculous that it was the most ridiculous violence I think I've ever seen in any movie, because it was just like, this is what like, you know, somebody drawing in their notebook in 6th grade would do, kind of just like...
I mean, to me, it felt like almost making fun of the concept of like violence in movies, where it's like, I mean, it's indulging and it's not like talking down to the concept of violence, but it's like, look at how silly this is.
Yeah,
and like, you know, we're having fun with it. And also that POV change, I think it is this the character fantasizing about like what it would be like if they were the killer or something.
Right, yeah. Lots to read in there.
Is there any other Rex?
No, I just had those.
Cool.
I've never seen a movie like this, which I think is great. I think that's the best recommendation I can make to any movie.
Totally.
Go see it. Go see it in a big crowd. You know?
Even if you hate it, it's like it'll be a new experience.
Yeah.
You know, and like honestly, dude, if you do care about like filmmakers getting their voice through all the fucking noise and the studio system, like this is a good one to support.
Absolutely.
For fucking sure. I mean, like the it's only going to be good things coming from a potentially successful weekend for this film.
Yeah, I don't think there's much out competing with it.
Except for Ice Cream Man.
Well, that's not. You know what?
No one's going to see Ice Cream Man.
We had a few walkouts.
I think you were going to see either of these movies.
We have to bring this up. So we went to a screening where Eli Roth.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Yeah, he was supposed to show up.
Yep.
And like
that's the reason we went to that one. Go to fucking Glendale.
Yes, and like a big fat fucking coward, he did not show up.
Liar hack.
The guy that played the Ice Cream Man did show up, and
like he said, with shame and embarrassment on his face, introduced the film and got the fuck out of there.
His eyes were strictly on the ground.
Wisely
so.
Like,
hey, thank you for coming. We really appreciate your sir. Okay, thank you very much, and goodbye.
Endless respect for him coming and actually doing it. You know, like no shade against that guy. The role is not that interesting. I don't think he did anything wrong with it though.
He did not have any lines.
Nope.
And he made one face, and I think he did okay. And I do feel bad for him because that's a real working actor right there, and a movie like that is
an embarrassing movie to be involved in.
It could fuck him up for the rest
of
it. Which, you know what? I will also say I did DM him on Instagram, just being like, "Hey, we were at that, and thank you for coming out, and really appreciate you."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just I guess this is probably going to be not good for his career. And I just want to show some appreciation. And you know what?
I mean, he probably met new people, right? It's like maybe he met Quentin Tarantino.
And you know what? He's got bigger balls than Eli Roth, who was, I thought...
Man, without even being there, he read the room, though. Because I think everyone there was there to see him, ironically. I don't think anyone was like, oh, yeah, we're going to see Eli Roth.
You could tell when that person sneezed and I went, bless you, and then everyone fucking laughed.
Everyone was just talking. Yeah, it didn't matter. None of it mattered.
I did feel like a lot of those things were bought weeks in advance, and then they were like, God,
I'm not going to this fucking shit.
Yeah, that sucks. Well...
I'm glad he didn't show up, honestly. It would have been, like, more awkward if he did.
No, revel in it. Revel in it like a pig in mud. That's what I want to see.
Been fucking paralyzed with, like,
be like, hey,
anxiety.
motherfuckers, what's good? I'm Eli Roth. This is the best movie I've ever made. And fuck you if you hate it. That's what I would have...
That's what he should have done. He should have just told us to go fuck ourselves.
Yeah,
whatever.
Walked in there, big gold chain, you know.
Yeah, maybe he'll do it now.
White suit.
Just send this to Eli Roth. Everyone send this to Eli Roth and be like, hey, look at these fucking yahoos.
Please.
Attack them.
We need the attention.
Yeah.
We're starved for it.
And violence, yeah.
And violence, yeah.
Desperately want violence.
We want
personal
violence in our daily lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not getting enough of that. Anything else? Oh, next week, huh?
Oh,
next episode.
Yeah.
Yes. So next episode, we decided to cover something that's been out for a little while. We're kind of late to the party here, but it started before we started the show. So go fuck yourself, kiss my ass. We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah,
doing our first show, though.
Yes.
We're going to cover the first season of Widow's Bay, Apple TV, Apple Plus TV, TV Plus Apple show.
It's very good. If you've ever been to New England and any of the little, not Boston, but like Portland.
Yeah.
Shout out Brian Schuff.
Broad appeal, though, in that show. Honestly, like it is funny, it's creepy, it's kind of the whole package as a show. It just happens to be a horror comedy. So if you want to be like spoiler prepared for the next episode, fucking check it out. Half-hour episodes, 10 episodes, be done in like 4.5 hours with all the credits and shit. And you're gonna skip those.
It goes down very, very smooth.
Real smooth. Tennessee whiskey, baby.
Have it with some clam chowder and a pint of Guinness.
Whiskey, Guinness, and clam chowder.
And yeah.
Brandon's gonna kill us. He's gonna murder us.
Oh yeah. Hey! Right. Put it down.
All right,
put it down.
That's the end of the show.
Good.
See you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.